Okie dokie. Today we are making EEVEE look like cycles, I guess. And we'll I'm not gonna do a render time comparison because I'm too lazy to do that. But it is a very nice change. Alright, so let me have a second. HDRIs by default. Okay, by default it'll look like this. It's pretty poop. For some reason the overpass HDRI looks pretty crappy, so I'm thinking I might delete that. I'll keep it for the moment. We'll see. It's like this. It looks pretty crap. There are no shadows. There's no reflections. There's nothing. It's very bland. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna use SSGI. It's pretty much cycles, but just for screen space. Just go here. You can get it for free. Put whatever email in, and then just download the version from here. This should be the one. You can even download the 3.0 version, which is the one I am using, I believe. First we're going to put ambient occlusion on. You don't quite need this, it will just add those shadows near the bases of your objects, of your bits. Make it look a bit nicer, also below your people. And then here we have our SSGI. This is a bad scene to demonstrate on, but it just adds more realistic reflections from what you can see. I mean, yeah, it adds ray tracing to everything you can see on the screen, so it's much faster than cycles, but creates similar results as long as you can see stuff. If you have a better computer, you can turn refraction on. I don't have a better computer, so it's probably going to crash. And half res trace you can turn off. As you can see, it slowed it down quite a bit, but it'll look better. That's one. Bloom's just bloom. You can do whatever you want with that. That's everything here. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do, now that we've got this, we can add a light source if we want. I'll do that in a bit, but first of all, we can bake our lighting. So I'm going to create a new collection for my players, or like everything that moves in my scene, which I don't want the lighting to be baked, otherwise the shadows will just stay in place, and we don't want that. Okay, now that's all here. We're going to light probe, irradiance volume. That's probably we need extras to be turned on. Okay, so we have this. I'll explain this real quick. The outer line is where the shadows will start. The inner line is where they will be completely started, and so on. So we'll make it higher. If we go down here, you can change the density and the distance and the clipping start and the clipping end, etc. Whatever you want. Right now this is 40 meters. Actually, who cares? So yeah, you can change the resolution of the amount of things that are in it. You don't really need many, but I mean for this scene this will be plenty. So I'm just gonna, so the shadows will stop up here, which is alright. We'll do it about there. The only thing you want to make sure of is that these dots don't intersect with any objects, because if they do that, then you'll get weird lighting artifacts and shadows that'll be in objects and stuff like that. So just make sure that they're all placed nicely. That's out of scene, so it probably doesn't matter that those are, we won't see those anyway, so. However, I will move that. I might rotate it this way a bit. Put it there, yeah, that's alright. I'm just pressing X twice to move it on the global axis, otherwise it goes on the, I mean the other way around, the local, so we can also just change that and then it will do it. Those are nice. I'm going to duplicate this, change the Z rotation, and move it up here. I don't think they will smooth between each other yet, so it might look a little weird if you have multiple of them, but just with a little bit of tweaking, that'll we can fix that. Right, might bring them down a bit. Okay, I'm gonna scale it down up here because I don't want weird lighting artifacts up there. That'll do. Yeah, this is a really rough job, but you can tweak with it a bit. Change the amount that are in there. Actually, I might change the resolution now to something like 2. As you can see, there are only a few of them now in the scene, but it'll still make it look much better, much more like Cycles. You can up the resolution if you want, you can do all that. It's just about tweaking it a little bit. It's a bit harder than Cycles, but really, it doesn't much matter. Here we have the amount of bounces that each of those dots do, calculate. So 3 is enough most of the time, I've found. So I'm going to leave it at that, and then just click here, bake in direct lighting. And we'll have a lot more shadows. It's laggier, because it's still baking, but once it's baked, then it's nice and fast. It'll bring the render times down too, which is good. Here you can see how it ends, so the shadows end, so you've got to watch out for that. Especially if they're not high enough, the shadows will abruptly end. It's not much here, but over here you can see it just suddenly stops. With this one, I'll create a new for lighting. So now we may have shadows for our players right now, but once they move, it'll all get a little awkward and messy. So what I forgot to do was go here, and in the visibility collection, just change this to d_overpass. So that means only everything in that will be the lighting, and only the lighting in that will be baked. So now if we delete lighting and then we bake it again, then our character's lighting will not be baked and they can have their own shadows. It can be nice and independent. Give this a moment. It's pretty fast, and the render times will be much faster than Cycles, so that is very nice. I'm pretty sure there was another thing. Give me a second. Turn auto bake on if you want to just edit them, make sure you don't have any weird shadows. back here I should probably create another one and then make it on this slant so it doesn't look as crap. I think that's about it. Changing the HDRI would probably help too, quite a bit. And then we can just add a simple sunlight source, like something like that maybe. We could also use the dynamic sky add-on, so we can create that. You can automatically change it to cycles. Never mind. I'm pretty sure that works in EEVEE too. There are plenty of sky add-ons out there to give you really, really fast results, but most of the time adding a sun for outdoor scenes would probably be enough. Rebake it, very nice. It'll take a little longer with more light sources in the scene, but it's much better than Cycles. This video is so messy. But once we bake that, we can render it, and each frame will take at least much less time than Cycles, which is very nice. So that is done. You can try and render. EEVEE sucks on my RAM, so baking the lighting and baking the textures makes it much faster, much nicer. And there you go. It'll look pretty similar to Cycles. Obviously I haven't put much effort into it because this is still bright because I don't have my irradiance volumes up there. But if you put just a little more time into it, it'll make it look much nicer. Yep.